What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Let's get into this really overdue recap of Teen Mom 2's Behind the Screams special. By the way, if you're an original watcher of my channel, then this room is probably quite nostalgic. I've got like electrical and painting renovations going on in my home, so I have to like do it here. There's probably like a giant piece of art that I'm not able to crop in the background as well from my den. So sorry for the next little while. This is where we are while my house gets redone. So the behind the screens special is everybody getting together to shoot the reunion and other specials as well, and this was happening while the season of Teen Mom 2 was airing, and so there was a lot of animosity between Briana and Kale based on things that they had seen throughout the show, in addition to some stuff that happened on social media, which we're going to get into a little bit later. The first thing we start off with is a scene between Nathan, his girlfriend, his friend, and Janelle's mom Barbara, where they're talking about the abuse, the alleged abuse that goes on of poor baby Kaiser, and dumb Nathan screwed up his opportunity to report Janelle for contempt of court. He was talking about how he tried to file a motion for contempt of court, but he mixed up who the defendant and who the claimant were, and I was like, defendant is a very basic word that you learn like in the first grade or something, like, you know, defend yourself, defend, like anyone, like I don't understand how he didn't know what a defendant was. Like, that was like a special level of stupid. And then they get into the road rage incident where Janelle pulled out a gun on somebody in front of Jace, and Nathan makes a really odd comment about how even a homeless person knows not to pull out a gun in front of children. It was very strange. Like, people are not homeless because of a lack of morality. Like, it didn't make any sense, but of course that is Nathan. And after that, Chelsea arrives and she heads over to Kale's hotel room, or some hotel room, to shoot Kale's podcast. And guys, between the two of them, the vocal fry was like enough for my ears to bleed. I think I watched this scene in mute, if I'm going to be honest, but it was so long ago I can't remember, but I'm 90% sure I watched it on mute, as I do with all of Chelsea's scenes. So guys, quick question for you. Do you think that Chelsea actually likes Kale? Because she seems really drama free and to feel like she's above like pretty much everyone on the cast, for them seeming like really hell-bent on creating chaos around their lives, for lack of a better word. And Kale is one of the top at that. Like, Kale seeks out drama like it is, you know, a drug, like it's morphine or something. So the idea of Chelsea genuinely liking someone like this is pretty far-fetched to me. To me, it seems like she's faking the funk for her job. So Kale goes on a rant about her issues with Briana, and then she talks about how she thinks she's better than Briana because she is accomplished, which is obviously her alluding to her degree, which is just a really weird thing to say in front of someone like Chelsea, who doesn't have a degree, who took years to get a basic GED and had to drop out of hair school because she was too stressed from moving houses and planning a birthday party. Like, if you're gonna call someone dumb, please make sure that you're not doing it in front of someone who can also be perceived as pretty damn dumb. After doing this podcast, we find out that Kale had texted Briana asking to meet face to face in a private room away from the cameras, and then we see like her friend Bone, for whatever reason, no one asked for this, and I don't know what the hell this woman was wearing. She was wearing like this giant beanie hat that would like, it had too much space up here, and then she was wearing shorts so short you could probably see a bit of her labia if you like angled your head like this, and like a Hooters shirt, which made me feel like maybe she tried out for a job there and like was rejected, and this is her trying to get her way back in, or something. Like, she looked a hot ass mess, but I guess they don't call her bonehead for nothing. Guys, it seems like Briana wanted to put the drama behind them, but Kale was hell-bent on dragging it along, just like she was at the last reunion. The two of them get into a room, and Kale brings up the Instagram comment that Bri made, claiming that Chris beats her in front of her kids. And I'm pretty sure Kale is the one who put out those thoughts in the first place by filing, you know, her third, fourth, fifth PFA. She claimed that Chris abused her, and I don't know the details of it. Maybe she claimed that it was she claimed that it was while she was holding Lux, if I'm remembering correctly. I could be remembering incorrectly, but I'm 99.9% certain that Kale's PFA filing against Chris claimed that he had like hit her while she was holding the baby at a certain point. So was Briana lying? Technically, no. these are the claims that Kail had put out there her damn self. Was it appropriate of her to put it on the internet? Again, no, absolutely not. But a normal, mature, non-ratchet, non-ghetto person like Kail seems to think she is, would not see something like that and just want to like go buck wild, Jerry Springer, like whatever on someone's ass. They would be like, wow, you're pretty damn trashy and lowbrow to be doing that. Like, F you, stay away from me, and leave it at that. Like I said, Briana seemed really nervous about this whole thing and didn't want to like get violent in the whole situation. But Kail, talking to her friend, I forgot, Dom or something, I don't know, talking to her friend, was like, the friend was like, tie up your hair, and Kail was putting on her sneakers like she was ready to fight somebody. She had her little shorts that were way too damn short. You could see some of her fake butt padding dangling out, and like she looked a hot ass mess. So she goes, ties up her hair, walks down the hallway with her little joggers, and yeah, they get into the room, and Kail starts screaming at Briana. Briana didn't seem like, she was like, what's going on? And her voice was noticeably shakier and higher than it is whenever she's confronting someone around her mom and her sister. Kind of funny, right? So Kail's like, let me punch you one good time. And so apparently she tries to move like by a table to get to Briana, but it's like, Kail, there's security in the room with the two of you. So I feel like this is a bit of an act. And also, Kail, the last time, like at the very beginning of the season, like the first 2 episodes, you were telling producers that you were uncomfortable working around Briana because she created like a hostile work environment. And here you are trying to literally assault your coworker. It was weird to me. And of course, as predicted and as they're paid to do, security kept them away from each other. Like, Kail was not able to beat up Briana. Like, obviously, who really expected that to even be able to happen? And of course, things get way worse after this. Briana, being the absolute dumbass that she is, could not fight Kail in private. She wanted no smoke. She ran away. She was like, get away from me. But as soon as her sister's there for backup, as soon as there's an audience, as soon as there's even more security and more people in between her and Kail, when they're all getting introduced up on stage, like in front of the crowd, it's Briana's turn, and this girl comes up, Kail, you were talking all this mess, but now you don't want to fight now, shaky voice, you know she doesn't want to do nothing. In fact, Dum stops right in front of pregnant Chelsea, which was absolutely disgusting, trying to coax Kail into fighting her in front of everybody. Why, of all people, do you stop in front of the pregnant one to stress her out, putting her baby in harm's way, and of course herself as well, when you could have handled this just the two of you in private and away from the cameras? At least Kail is smart enough to not do this in front of people, so no one even would have known that it had happened. Like, at that time, the crowd had no way of knowing that this had happened just now. And Kail gets to maintain her image while you look like an unhinged freaking lunatic. So of course, Kail and her ill-fitting shirt, I don't know what the hell this woman was wearing. Like, it did not fit her at all, which is really ironic because last season or the season before, she was getting on Hobby for his jeans not fitting. Well, chick, your shorts weren't fitting earlier, your shirt's not fitting, your jeans not fitting now. So anyway, she's like, I'm trying to get to you, Briana. I'm trying to get to you, Briana. Let's fight. But of course, Briana's keeping her distance, acting like she wants to get towards Kail. Kail is taking the long way. Security is in between it all. There's castmates in between it all. And then Briana's sister, Brittany, follows Kail and yanks her by the hair, probably giving her like the whiplash of the year. And Briana just starts screaming like a maniac. She's like, ah, my sister, Kail. She's just screaming. It was just absolutely ridiculous. And then after all of this, like, they're all separated backstage. They're screaming at each other backstage. You bitch, you this, you that. Kail accuses Briana of only trying to fight for the cameras. And then she's in a room with her friends, and gossipy ass Javi comes strolling in with his whatever the hell it was he was eating, a pizza or something. And Bonehead calls him fake. And of course, nobody even acknowledges this like desperate ass woman. They're just like, act like she isn't even there, which is probably the smartest thing to do with this chick. And Javi's like, okay, Rocky Balboa, obviously excited at the thought, salivating at the thought of two women fighting over his trifling ass, and meanwhile, he's over here impregnating chicks from, you know, God knows where. Gossipy Javi just lays himself out, all perched for the tea on the situation, and Kail starts venting to him in front of the cameras that she claims she didn't want to film in front of when he first walks in, and she just tells him the story until Javi is like, well, like, you're always saying that you want to quit, why don't you just quit? She's like, get out. Get the hell out. I don't want to talk to you anymore. And Javi calls her an asshole. Briana is so dumb for doing it in public and not doing it in private the way Kail did before. And I was so glad to see her sister, Brittany, and her friend Shirley tell her like she was so stupid to do what she did, because now she looks like the bad guy and Kail looks like the victim, even though when you go back and watch the episode, you'll see from the very beginning, Kail is the one who wanted to get into a physical confrontation with Briana from the very beginning. Briana was very hesitant. She wanted to squash it. Honestly, from the very beginning of the season, she wanted to squash all of this stuff. But look, when you go and act like this, you're the one who looks like the asshole. Like when they pulled her off stage, she was throwing objects around. She could have hit somebody. She could have like shorted the lights. I think she like tried to like pull a light fixture or something. Like it was a mess, Briana. Like you looked like a whole ass idiot. And there you go, you guys. A recap of Teen Mom 2 behind the screams. By the way, I'm going to be doing a recap of last night's Teen Mom 2 as well after work. So don't even worry. It's coming up tonight or tomorrow. You guys, what did you think about this special for Teen Mom 2 behind the screens? Like the drama that went down between Kail and Briana. Leave all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, and as usual, we'll chat. You can also like this video, subscribe for more. Feel free to share it with your friends as well, and follow me across social media where I absolutely love chatting with you. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.